Evening all. Quick good news story I want to tell you about. We've just put in a wildflower margin on the top of the field I'm stood in. We've been planning this for quite some time. So this field I'll show you now was in grass, Italian ryegrass, for 2 years. And the top part of this field, where I've just put this margin in, we deliberately did not fertilise for the last 2 years. We still took the cuts of grass off it, which got increasingly smaller. And by doing that, we've reduced the fertility. Now I picked this site before then to think about doing a flower margin because it's got a really good south facing aspect, and that's good for kind of sunlight and for the flowers and for pollinators that use it. It's got a good thick hedge running alongside it as well. It's also got chalky soil, and that also really works well with wildflowers. So I've drilled today a mix provided by Bright Seeds, which is 80% grass and 20% wildflowers. It might take, I don't know if it will take a couple of years or not to really get going, but we'll have to see. I've just rolled it in. As you can see it's been rolled in. I'm hoping it'll rain tomorrow to kind of set it off to a good start. And rightly or wrongly, what I've done is left 3 meters of the grass that was here previously as a buffer, so we didn't kill this bit off. The idea is that when we plant the rest of the field, there'll be this buffer strip here, so there's much less risk of a sniff of any herbicides used on the field crossing over and getting onto the wildflower margin, because wildflowers are highly sensitive to that. Another advantage of putting it in after grass is, as I say, the grass will not have had any herbicides used. There's no risk of a residual herbicide in the soil. So looking forward to see how this develops, and it's quite expensive. So we've had a reasonably good harvest. I can do a couple of projects like this, but the seed for this was 300 quid. Obviously then there's the cost of drilling it, the cost of preparing the ground, the cost of rolling it. I'm not going to get a pound of income off this ground. This 0.3 hectares is now taken out of production. So I can tweet about it and talk about it, and hopefully it will be some good PR for the public, and hopefully genuinely it will be very good for biodiversity in this field and on this part of the farm. So we'll see what it looks like. So anyway, pleased we got it done. Like I say, it's been thought about for about 3 years to get this in, so it doesn't look very good today. Hopefully this time next year it'll look impressive.